All right, folks. For once, we have a TVZ Grand Finals. It's Cure versus Solar, and my goodness. Hold on to your butts. This is a fantastic series. But before you get into it, again, like, comment, subscribe to this video. It really does help out. I'm producing videos, putting them out there 6 days a week, pending YouTube actually parsing them. So maybe there are gaps there, but I'm doing my best. And also, I stream on Twitch every Monday, EPT at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern for the Apprentice Cup, and 11 p.m. Eastern now. Thank you, Daylight Savings Time, for EPT Korea. And because NA Apprentice is in season, every Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern for the duration of that event. But for now, it's the best 5 grand finals between two of the best to do it. Cure versus Solar. ZvT on my Korean server. It's exciting. Enjoy. In the upper left, in the blue. He's had a difficult run as well for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. That was unfortunate. My stream preview that I have set up that should not play audio. Should not play audio. Still thinks it should play audio. So, sorry about that, folks. Because, of course, while I am streaming this, I'm also recording it in 4K to go up to my YouTube channel later. Make sure to go check that one out. ! YouTube. I got highlight videos from Katowice. I have 4K casts of different things. I got some other stuff in the works. It's going to be a good time. But for now, this game number 1, well, it's on Berlingrad. Berlingrad has given us some interesting Terran 2-base all-ins. Ryung was a big fan of them. Although, in fairness, that was because he was running into Rogue and Cyril. And realistically, he was not going to beat those players. He was trying. And he gave it a damn good shot. That proxy 2-racks build against Rogue was verifiably disgusting. TVZ, all is how it should be. This is true. This is the first TVZ finals in an EPT career that I have cast in a good long time. Normally it's Zest Solar, where either Zest is a new build and he kills Solar, or Solar has the answer to it and kills Zest, which is in part kind of cool. There was a while where it was Zest versus Solar in every single NA and Korea for like 3 weeks straight. And we saw this meta build up between the two players. As Reaper, hey, 3 kills on this Reaper is a lot more than you would normally expect, but in part, that's because Solar has a lot of Zerglings on the map, and I'm not really sure why he's doing that. Normally, just keep your Reaper or your Zerglings at home. Oh, wait, okay, so he cannot block the drone, but still forcing a spore cancel is annoying. And Reaper now does go down, but still value. 3 Zerglings go down. When you commit to 6, you don't kind of want to lose all that much, although, again, Zerglings on the map does change that calculus just a little bit. And Banshee play on the way. So Solar should scout this. The Zerglings, I don't think, well, okay, they're not. The Zerglings, they should catch the Banshee running on out, maybe the Overlord as well. And hey, with heightened unit colors, that Overlord with the skin, it looks kind of fancy. All nice red and pretty like that one. But anyway, Banshee is about halfway done. Stim on the way behind this, or Cloak about halfway done. Stim on the way behind this. And even the, I mean, 3rd CC, Solar knows what he needs. He got spores on the way because he just gets spores against the Terran, whether it's Liberators, whether it's Banshees. It's always going to find value in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just to deal with the drop later on. So you get the Banshees, you get them at 4 minutes, or 4:30 actually, and that's going to be more than fine. So first Banshee's going to run onto the other side of the map. It's not going to find too much. The point we should be making here, though, is this is not your traditional Banshee play where it is, oh, Hellion Banshee, and you go and you do things like, it's good, it's fine. But this is straight Banshee with a 3-1-1 behind this. Yeah, there's a 3rd base, but there's going to be a stim timing that Cure may look to take advantage of because, of course, this is Berlingrad. But even still, 3rd base going on down just now. Overlord will scout that happening. Banshee not getting too much done for a moment. There's a Queen, there's a Spore, so shouldn't really get too much, but Solar not quite paying attention just yet. Queen really needs to rotate on over. But 3 more workers will go down. Again, ticky-tack damage. It's annoying, but Zerg player, they're on 67 workers. They're going to go take... Oh, actually, the Banshee may be able to deny this, but no. Kier's not paying attention. So, 4th base is now on the way for Kier, for Solar, and he's actually doing a really good job of spreading his creep ahead of the 4th. It's often hard to really make that happen around the 4th base in particular, but having this creep tumor already there does mean that by the time there's any sort of pressure from Kier, creep is going to be right here, maybe further, and that just buys time for Solar to make something happen. The interesting thing, though, is we don't see Kier pairing his Banshees up. He's got 1 on the left, 1 on the right. This one got like 2 more workers, I think. The Banshee looks to run on in. It's going to get another drone or 2, but that really should be the end of things. Zergling's looking to knock the rocks down as well, but the first true pressure from Kier on the map. 16 Marines into medevacs looking to find this 4th base, and the 4th base relatively undefended at the moment. The Banshee trying to knock it down, just adding a little bit more DPS. We, of course, have Banelings on the way, but no Baneling speed just yet, and the creep is not quite where it needed to be. Solar had the opportunity to, but now he's not there. Man, these Marines, they're going to find a damn fine spot. So the Banelings, it's going to be hard for them to get the connections they're looking to, and the Queens, they're now off creep, so no transfuses. That's the advantage of the push, of the change, but even still. 4th base will stay alive for right now. Lings go down, but now there's creep around it, a little bit easier. Baneling speed is done. There's not really much of a timing that Kier's going to look to take advantage of anymore, as it looks like the Banshee trying to kill some creep tumors. That's going to be nice. And now the army's going to spill on in here. Kier's going to pick up as Banelings arrive, but still a little bit slow. 8 Marines go down.
Game paused.
And we got some lag, I guess. Do I know what race Grand Mist is? No, I don't. Grand Mist, he played in the first round, I think. But okay, where your game is resumed. I don't know what race Grand Mist is. Yeah, I don't know why it's hard to get Zergs. I guess because, well, you either have these top level Zergs like Rogue and Dark and Cyril and Raynor that don't really need to play to. They don't need it. It supplements their income, but they make enough money off of tournament wins that they don't need to. But there's really no one below them. Ivania occasionally looking good, but there's just not a. You have these top 5 Zergs, and there just really isn't anyone behind them. So the players below the top 5 in the world are going to be of really any race, top 4 maybe, or the players that are going to play in these cups, and they don't exist. Maybe there's Lambo in EU, a laser as well. Now they do play sometimes, but Lambo's been pretty vocal about just not liking the format. But okay, so now Solar, we're getting a little bit of lag. Hopefully it's just on my end, but Solar did pause for a second. Anyways, Solar's got his 5th base on the way. Seems to be doing just fine. 2-2 on the way, going into Lurker Den. All of those fun things. So now we get to see just how much the Lurker nerf really impacts a high-level TVZ. We don't know. I've not cast a high-level TVZ. We just don't get a lot of them unless you specifically set up a tournament and say, hey, I'm going to force some TVZ action. Because again, Solar is the only one that really plays on online cups for the most part. Dark occasionally. He'll sign up a little bit sometimes, but far less frequently. And then there's, the occasional Raynor. But again, not a lot of top level Zerg. So Solar for now, he's going to do a really good job of just making sure that Kier is really just not allowed to move on to creep. But Kier has kind of found a nice position on this high ground spot. The creep is receding, and the Queens do have energy, but they're just not spreading creep right there. This high ground does need to be remediated. So Solar has noticed now, but the Queens are taking a little bit of a bad path. They're going to waddle on over just a little bit, and now here's the push from Kier. He's maxed out. Is this 8 racks? Yeah. So he's maxed out here on this 8 racks. This 2-2 is not done just yet. That's going to be the big time he's looking to hit. But Solar, he says, okay, if you're going to push in with your main army, that means you're not going to have a lot around this 3rd. So push on the right side. Is the moment Kier steps on creep, really, we should see that run go on in. So Zerglings now, they're going to try to move on through. But there's a big wall, and the rally of Kier is a problem. So now Banelings look to crash on in. Kier rather supply blocked, but that's going to be the end of that bio. And now taking up on the high ground. It's so good that Solar found that creep spread. It means just a little bit longer. But what we need now for Solar is to really take he needs to set up a big surround. If he cannot find his way into this base, and he has not been able to do so thus far. Banelig's going to filter on in once again, but tanks are here, and okay, he's just going to kill off more supply depots. or set them to burn. But now he's going to fight on the bottom side as well. It's not really working out for Solar that well either. Of course, the end state for this, the moment where this push ends, is when Vipers are on the field, is when they have Abducts, when they have Blinding Clouds, and you can actually just prevent these tanks from doing much of anything. But now, Cure, that timing's not there just yet. More and more Banelings are on the way. Cure's actually going to get on top of them, and Solar comes spilling on forward. But these tanks are rather scary, and we're going to have to see how much value they get. Oh, that's a couple big shots. Solar not quite calculating this fight as well as he should. So he runs forward and really takes far more damage than he does. I mean, it's better than committing into a fight you know you're going to lose, but even still, it's not going to be all that great as the bio. It's going to find a lot of Overlords, maybe supply blocking Solar just here as Banelings look to spill on in. They're kind of clumped, and they're going to get some good shots. Where's the Viper? One Viper getting energy. That's the big deal. These tanks, though, they're not all that clumped. A little bit hard, so it looks like Solar actually, he's just going to give this base up. He's going to give up this fourth base, but he's got a fourth base on the other side. He's got a fifth base as well. So not the biggest of deals, because this is all in from Cure, at least in part. So Solar, the big deal, he is massively supply blocked. Kind of a problem. You kind of need Overlords to be able to build things. So he's going to build a laser amounts of Overlords right now, but it's still kind of hard. And it's only one Viper. That is only 2 Blinding Clouds. It's a little bit hard to get all of these tanks, but now we're going to have Cure Stimming on in, looking for the fight right here, right now. Viper moving forward, Blinding Cloud on top of the tanks, but that's just wasted energy. And Cure, he's just found such a chokehold of a position, not allowing Solar to fight, and even with the Lurkers out, even as good of a game that Solar has had up until this point, Cure, he's knocked away the creep. He's knocked the base. The third base is going to go down. The tanks look to move on forward. He's not going to allow this to happen. Blinding Cloud dropped on top of the bio, forcing it to split away, forcing some of it to die. But that is the sacrifice that Cure is willing to take because he's killed another base. He's up 40, 50 army supply. His army is powerful, and sure, he's 2-2 versus the 2-2. He doesn't have an upgrade lead, but his fourth base is now done. He has not done enough damage to bring himself into the mid game. To bring himself, well, he's in the mid game. Bring himself into the late game should he so choose, but I think he's just going to go try to kill his opponent right now. This is 2 fact 8 racks. And with the Liberators are here as well, he has massive siege up potential to get on top of these Lurkers. Yeah, they have their upgrades, but, well, that one upgrade was nerfed here. Banelings spilling on in. Now we have the Blinding Clouds, and that's actually going to be a fairly big shot. The bio is starting to melt just a little bit, but not fast enough. The Rally of Cure finds its way on in. Lurkers are going down. There's one. It's going to get transfused, but, oh, I guess there's 2 actually, but there's just not enough. Cure takes game 1. And the bottom left, he's down 1 because his opponent looks incredible. For Kaizi, Solar. In the upper right, in the red. He's up 1-0 again. He just finds his timing and he kills his opponent. It does not look close in these games thus far. Yeah, Cure is a macro monster. He is Cure. Terran, what are you doing waking up at 1:40 in the morning? That's disgusting. I hope you're doing something fun on a Sunday morning waking up that early. Okay, so game 1, we saw Solar looking good. His creep spread was halfway across the map. Cure was not allowed to move on to it. Then Cure said, oh, F2A, let me kill you. And that's not what happened, but he brought his army together into one big clump. He owned the high ground. And he shoved Solar into oblivion. He killed the fourth base, he killed the third base, and he just hit that timing before Lurkers were truly done, where his tanks were extremely powerful, and Solar, with only one Viper, was not able to take any fight that he looked for. He just kind of kept taking these halfway fights. And every time he did, he would lose a lot. Every time he did, the supply gap would grow. And it just felt like he couldn't figure out where he needed to be. We never saw one of those big, well, I'm running in from the left, right, and the center, and I'm going to just outflank the hell out of you. But now, 4 Zerglings this time, not 6, because the Reaper shows up a little bit later. There's less of a buffer needed to get on into Queen play, because A is splittering out, as I say that. Sorry, 6 Zerglings are going to be the way of things, and This is something that we've started to see the top Zergs in Korea do a little bit more. It used to be 4. You used to just get 4 all the time. And if you wanted to go 6, it would be, well, okay, I lose 1 Zergling if I go 4. If I get 6, I lose nothing, theoretically. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's actually so valuable, so necessary to snipe that creep tumor early on, or to get that creep tumor up, actually, for Solar, because that means that he can spread, if he gets that up, it means he can spread creep to his 3rd base, and also spread creep on this pushing position to the right side. Well, Classic still should have gone to Katowice, actually, due to fill in over Ryung. But I guess his passport wasn't ready, or his he didn't have COVID, or he didn't have his COVID vaccination, something like that. But Classic was higher on the fill-in rankings than a couple Protoss, or a couple players that did end up going over him. All right, so now the Reaper Hellion, they're going to find their way on in. Queen says, oh, I'm going to inject instead of keeping my worker alive. And actually, really nice grenade forces the Queen into more damage range. All this coffee talk, I feel like, I'm saying this, I feel like my life would be much easier as a PhD student, right? Just in general, if I liked coffee. But I'm very much a tea fan, and I'm a tea guy, not a coffee guy. And tea just does not have as much caffeine. So instead, we go for G Fuel, energy for gamers, except not, because this stream is not sponsored by them. Although, King of Battles 3 coming up end of April. That is. And some other good stuff. I'm so excited about that one. I'm going to be producing that, casting that one as well as Reaper Hellion. They're going to find their way on in. All the queens, they're on the north side. So this is, the very least, well, actually, no, the queens are going to be able to rotate around. So this shouldn't be a dead queen. Viking going to be a little bit annoying. Queen Transfuse energy is forced at the very least. This is a lot of Hellions. It's going up to 8. Which I guess is rather normal, but sometimes we see Terran players stick at 6. Terran Nuker, be the change you wish to see in the world. Drink that chocolate creamer if you want. But okay, so now Liberator sieges up the 3rd base right on top of everything. It's have to be a big pro pull as the Hellions look to dive in the natural. And I don't think they got too many workers, but they are getting literal tons of Zerglings here. And now the Hellions, there are still 3 of them. 9 total drones go down. All the Zerglings go down as well. And now, yeah, sure, the Hellions are forced out, but 2 of them survive. The Liberator as well. That was massive. 20 Lings, 10 workers. Pay that price, and that is, you'll take that. I mean, Thorn, the thing is also, we talk about vanilla as this big luxury. Most vanilla flavored stuff we get is not vanilla. It's vanillin, which is made from oak extract. It's a paper mill byproduct. And you can taste the difference. It's the vanilla note without the vanilla subtlety. So, I can understand why someone, say, doesn't like most vanilla flavored things, but things that they make themselves with actual vanilla extract. It's just so much, it's such a difference. It's like homemade vanilla ice cream versus store-bought vanilla ice cream. It just makes such a difference. But anyways, the bio here from Cure looking to push on forward, taking advantage of this time that they had the queens. They're on creep, but it still does not matter. They're going to get caught. This creep spread will get knocked down. Queens are, again, they're starting to fall. And they have transfuse energy. They should be transfusing, but they are not. Now Banelings looking to roll on in. So finally, there's a transfuse. Finally, they're going to be forced back. But still, that was 4 queens? 3 queens. 3 queens going down. Saving grace for Solar is the fact that this is glittering ashes. And it's kind of hard to kill your opponent, kind of hard for the Terran to find their way on in. So Kira is just going to clean up some creep, but only 5 queens on the map. It's kind of an issue. All right, so now Zerglings, they are looking to clean this up, but this is now a 4 medevac setup here. There's a little bit too much for, well, for both players right now. No one wants to really take this fight because upgrades are not done. And Cure, he is going into a fourth base really quickly. This game is going to go a little bit later, which is awesome. It's not just going to be an 8 racks into GG. But still, I mean, Cure's doing such a damn good job of knocking this creep spread down. When he decides to finally go for a push, he's going to have a really nice highway to run on through. So his army, again, he's kind of learned that, okay, Solar really likes to do these big run bys. So I'm going to keep most of my army at home for now, and only when I'm ready, only when I think I have a big timing, am I going to run across the map. And actually, he's going to keep his army separate for now. Big army on the right side, big army on the left side, and both, of course, a little bit bigger than what the Zerg can bring to bear, because he does have that 30 army supply lead again. Between the damage that Solar took and the macro of Cure, he is just, again, dominant. So Cure's going to stim in, and he's not going to find a base, but what he will do is, again, knocking down significant amounts of creep. As again, he just tries to, he's building a game state where 3 minutes from now, he's going to be able to ideally win this game. Big Widow Mine knocking down a bunch of veins. But now that should be, oh, good target fire there for Cure for right now, but he's going to be forced back up, which means theoretically that, there we go, stimming on into this fourth base. But there should be enough Ling Bane to deal with this. But again, the creep spread, that's the big deal. That's the story of this game. Solar is pinned on his 5 bases. I have 4.5 bases. That 5th base is not taken just yet. But he's really pinned here. Oh, Widow Mine. Yeah, so all the Banelings, there are 3 Banelings left in this army right now. That's getting a little bit easier. Widow Mine shot. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. That's so many stuff. So much stuff going down. But even still, the full army of Solar on the left side will be able to clean that one up. Looks like Cure's army from the right just kind of ran on home. Only 8 Marines left and 2 medevacs. But the next rally completes. 2-2 will be done rather soon. We have +1 mech attack on the way, but it's still 3 Widow Mines at a time. I guess Cure just prepping himself to go into tanks eventually once he's tired of this kind of ebb and flow back and forth. Nice target fire. Banelings will go down. Cure on the left side, but Solar is dealing with this fairly well. The big deal, of course, again, he doesn't have much map control. It's really hard for him to see where the army's coming from, so eventually he will run into problems. As the Banelings run forward, they run on backwards. Widow Mine shots, again, they're going to be fairly nice. The bio of Cure stimming on forward. He's got a 30 army supply lead. Actually, a 30 supply lead in general, almost a 40 army supply lead. But now we're going into tanks. 3rd factory getting added on in. But it looks like Solar for now, he should be able to hold this off. And actually, this is going to be a really nice fight here, assuming Widow Mine shots are just not insane. He's going to be able to break Cure out of his position. All of the bios forced back. A great fight here from Solar. He forces him back, but still, there's a drop on the main base. Double drop of, actually, I guess it's a single drop. Oh, okay, it was 16 Marines. They're going to find 1 Queen and be forced on back, but still knocking down Queens. That's injects. That is production later on. But at this point, the Zerg is on, what, 6 hatcheries? They kind of have infinite larvae anyways, as long as it's not multiple remaxes. But of course, Cure, he's got his 4th base done. And now we're hitting the point where the Terran says, I'm going to boom. Many command centers are on the way. And that just means more orbitals, more scans, more mules, and all of these things is tremendously important in the persecution of the campaign against the Zerg. So here on the right side, he's, again, there's just not a lot. The lack of map control is insane in this late game here. So now we're going to see Bio find yet more Queens. And this base, it's 2-2 Bio. This base should go down, but the Queen's actually doing a really good job of distracting for now. So this drop will be forced on back. And again, really good Widow Mine shots. These it's ridiculous. All the Widow Mines are finding value. Normally we see Zergs with some really good splits, but not this game. So Cure's going to try to find value on the left side now. And now finally, it looks like he's got Solar out of position. So he's going to be able to stim on in here. 4-5 workers will go down. Queen as well. And he's going to find, again, just a lot more stuff. But eventually the Zergling rally should be able to deal with that. 5 workers go down. Here's what I'm curious about, though. It's about a 4,000 resources lost differential, which, not crazy. We've seen it much worse in this matchup. And this drop not finding too much in the main. Lurker Den is done. We have Lurker upgrades. Well, first one, Seismic Spines is done. Adaptive Talons just about done as well. So Solar is technically where he wants to be. He has weathered the storm of Cure. His creep spread is finally towards the middle of the map. It's finally owning the map. But also this is because Kira is settling back. He's like, I can't really break my opponent anymore. Kind of hard. Oh, that was a big connection. Looks like a lot of Painless killed a lot of Marines on the north side. Oh god, no! Solar! There's like 18 Banes. We've all done it. Now that big bang that Solar had, all the gas, he's got to remake all the Banes. Yeah, sure, it's good to knock the rocks down, but that's not the way you want to do it, man. That's not what you're looking for. Okay, though. So, Nuke's now on the way. Cure, he's going to take his 5th base. And Solar, there are 2 bases left that he can technically take, but both are kind of hard. As we'll see the Vipers spending a couple para bombs, knocking the Widow Mine, or the Medivacs on down. And I like this from Solar. Right, he's got a Nidus on the way. That is a great way to break a turtling Terran who is on 13 tanks. That's a lot of tanks. That's really hard. So Solar, he's going to maybe try to find his way onto the other side, but there are 5 tanks there and a planetary. This might even turn into a planetary as this planetary there. Okay, so all the spots are getting choked on out here, but Zerglings, they're going to run on in. They do have crack. They are rather good at killing things off. So this planetary is going to go on. Never mind. The rest of the army of Cure has arrived, and now Solar's got to find a way to break effectively a meching Terran with Bio. Cure, he's leaning into the way that Mario says, oh, this is the optimal way to play this game, and somehow this Overseer found its way on through despite all the protections, but there's enough Marines that we really should not see a Nidus go down, at least not successfully. So Cure, he's got his 5th base. I don't actually see a world as the Viking. Oh, Viking transition. I guess Cure thinks that Solar's going to go into Broodlords behind this, but maybe it's just to zone out the Vipers? Viking transition is very interesting, but now Zerglings, they're going to roll on in here. Blinding Cloud to the first tank. Zerglings, there's actually nothing that deals with the Zerglings here. The tanks, they're going to get Blinding Clouded on out. That is a lot of dead tanks. Failings on into this 5th base. I thought it was unassailable, but that answer is no. Failings are going to go down. These 3 tanks, they still will survive. But the Hydras now, they filter on in, so these tanks, they're dead. And that should be the key for Solar to retreat. He's going to look for the remax. Cure pushing onto the other side of the map. Nuke on this 4th base that honestly doesn't have that much mining at it anymore. Zerglings will be able to clean things up. And the Nuke, where is this Ghost? Oh, there's the Ghost. Okay. So Nuke doesn't get too much done. Solar and Nukes, we're not going to see that. Oh, I didn't know that, Thorn. That's kind of cool. Explains why roasting, or why coffee in preparation smells so good. So Solar, he's rounding out his upgrades. +2 ranged on the way, but I feel like at this point, the Terran play, or you have to go something more than just Hydra Lurker. Actually, he's just Hydra Ling Bane. There are no Lurkers on the field. It's just Hydra Lurker Viper, or Hydra Ling Bane Viper. Because the army that Cure has made is very good against Lurkers, but other things, maybe not. So Ghost on the right side is going to get found on out here. Zerglings looking to move on in from 2 sides, trying to eat the tank shots. Blinding Clouds on the front level, but maybe not on the back. All the tanks, though, they will go down. Excellent fight here from Solar. But again, there are more tanks. Zerglings get on top of them, though. Hydra's fighting the unsieged tanks, and it looks like Solar, he's going to be able to break on through. More and more tanks are going down. Only 6 on the field. That's still a lot of tanks, but this position is broken. This tank should go down as well. Terran Nuker, why would you eat frozen Pop-Tarts? Okay, Zerglings, they should find... Oh, this is a free tank. Solar. Kill the damn tank. But he's not going to, because he's worried about the collapse from Cure. Big deal, though. Cure has no bank. Kind of a problem. He will be able to rebuild it eventually, but for now he does not. And Solar does. And oh, interesting, because he knocked down a lot of these tanks, only 8 now. He is going for a big Lurker swing, trying to cut into things. Zerglings rallying on in. Lurkers looking for the big burrow, and we can see the difference it takes. So now Zerglings again rolling on in here. The army of Cure is starting to fall apart once again. The Lurkers, they have not been dealt with. Orbital's going down to the Lurker play, but it's gonna have to be another fight. So Nuke actually gets dropped on things. That's a bit of a problem. So Solar is gonna be forced back. But hey, Nuke will be canceled. And of course, unlike Snipes, if you go for a nuke and it does not work out, you still have to pay for the nuke. It's still used. So now the Lurkers from Solar, once again, moving on in here. Liberators, they're good, and they deal with a lot of things, but the Lurkers, they just kind of move in a little bit forward. They say, okay, well, I'm just going to run past the Liberator range. Solar now he's up 50 supply, and it did not feel good for quite a while. Cure had Fortress Terran all ready to go, but now Solar, he's got the wedge, he's got the bulkhead, and he's not gonna let this one go. Ghosts, they're cloaked up, but there is an Overseer. Solar, he takes game 2. What a game from the Kaizi Zerg. In the bottom right, taking a fantastic game number 2. He is, for Kaizi, Solar. His opponent in the bottom left in the blue. He's been looking strong, but finally there's a player to challenge him in this Grand Finals for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. Solar's only lost 2 games to the biggest nukes you've ever seen in pro play. Yeah. Yep. Sounds about right. Solar and losing games that he has won to nukes. Name a bigger combo. But. Game 3, it's gonna be a little bit different. Cure's saying, I don't really want to play another 20-minute game. Please no. Although realistically, it's what? Korea's 12 hours ahead of us, so it's like 4 in the afternoon. I mean, this is prime hours. Hello, Mr. Polish chemist. Hope you're having a great day. We have to see. Solar has not scouted this just yet. And by the way, folks, this is only a... Oh, he almost scouted it too. That's worse than not scouting it at all. So now we're going to see the bunker go on up. Not in vision, of course. Solar has 0 idea. He has no idea this is happening. This drone that is going to go mine from this base has no idea. So the bunker, it's halfway done. This is the worst scenario that Solar could ever deal with. You want to pull drones early so you can prevent the bunker from going up, so you can get it before it gets to 3 or 4 Marines. But the drones are going to have to get pulled anyways. And now, really, this game, it's all about how many workers Cure can kill before Solar is able to knock things down. 2, 3, 4. 4 will be the number. 4, 5. This is already kind of a problem. 6 workers go down. Marines are going to find their way into a corner. Solar's dead. GG, Cure, 2-1. In the bottom left, in the red. He's down 1 game in the series. Again, looking to equalize on Hardwire on his map pick. He is Solar. In the upper right, in the blue, looking to close it out right here, right now with another proxy for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. But this time, it's getting scouted. Notice what Cure's doing, though. He's keeping his second SCV a little bit further away. He's trying to make this look like this is just Proxy Reaper. But Solar will not. Well, will he see this? No, he will not. So this is actually just going to be Proxy Reaper after all, but it's a Proxy Reaper that Solar will not expect because he knows the barracks was canceled, which actually may make this get a lot of damage done. Because this is kind of a, this was a delayed pool. It was an 18 pool, not a 17 pool, and drone getting pulled. So the Reaper will arrive very quickly. And we might see Solar just not build Lings because he doesn't think there's going to be much of anything. He knows the barracks, he quote unquote knows the barracks is being built at home. So I don't know. This might be a diamond in the rough here for Cure. It's one of those games where you do the wrong thing. The thing doesn't work, but it does work because it doesn't work. And there we go. Bunker coming on down. Solar doesn't know about this. He's going to scout it now. He's going to say, wait a minute. What's happening here? What is happening here? This is not allowed, Cure. You're not allowed to do this, but rest easy, Solar. Cure is allowed to do this as the SCV RNG. It's found itself in a corner. You're not killing that off. SCV now it's going to find its way into the bunker. Oh, it's not going to go for the repair. So interesting. But the Reaper. The Reaper will now arrive. 2 Zerglings on the way, going up to 6. Zerglings already knocking the bunker down, but this buys room just maybe for the Reaper to cause some problems. Bunker does get salvaged, and there is no value. After all, it was looking good. Looking like Cure had something. But, he gets the drone. Never mind. He finds more value than he had any right to get. Now the Reaper gonna jump in the main base, runs away. But while game number 3 was kind of lame, game 4 going to be much, much, much more exciting. Oh, yeah, no, mountain blueberries, absolutely. Wild blueberries. There's a spot. It's the first site if you're hiking the Appalachian Trail. It's the first site that you get of Mount Katahdin, which is the final mountain. When you summit Mount Katahdin, you finish the ET if you're going northbound. The Appalachian Trail. There's a place called, I think it's just called Blueberry Rock, but it is just covered. It's this big clearing. It's just covered with wild blueberry bushes. And you show up there in early August when the nights are getting cold, but the days are still warm. And you get it right there in the middle of the day. It's sun-warmed, these massive blueberries. It is, when I was there, when I was section hiking that part of the Appalachian Trail, my lunch was 95% those blueberries. Maybe not the healthiest, maybe not the best way to fuel a hiker, but they were so good. But anyways, for now, Cure, he's moving on into his third base, 1-1-1, so quote-unquote standard setup. Solar's got his third base on the way as well, but as I said, standard setup. We got the fusion core on the way. Oh no, I've been sent a clip of myself finding blueberries. Apparently it was interesting, to say the least. Anyway, so Solar for now, he's not going for roach play. He's not going to go try to punish Cure immediately for his aggression, for his insanity. So the battlecruiser should get up. We're not going to see some sort of crazy all-in where the BC is able to just kill things. And Cure's actually going for mech in this game, which is interesting. Cure, I'm sure, has the ability to do it. He kind of went into mech in that bio game just because of how his positioning was and how he turtled hard on those 5-6 bases. But in this game, he is going to go for mech. And Hardwire is actually a fairly good map for it. Is pulled Viking in the main. Just going to show up, says, oh, wait. Oh, okay, it's going to try to kill drones. I guess it's got an Overlord as well. So it's going to run on in here. Queens do not kill this all that quickly, but, well, Speedlings will. So Viking does not find too much value. +1 armor on the way. Solar worried about some sort of all-in, which is fair. It's hard to come back from that build that the Terran went for and just by not doing anything, but that's exactly what Cure is doing. Second, third factory on the way. Fusion core, or excuse me, battlecruiser about halfway done, and we have Yamato. So if you needed any confirmation this was going to be mech, you have your confirmation. If you were looking for a sign to play mech as a Terran player, well, we're going to have to see how this game goes to see whether this is a good sign or not. Our BC is now teleported into the main base. How many queens do we have? We have 8. So we have the number that you're looking for to make sure that the BC does not get too much done. But now Hellions are going to look to dive into the third. Is Solar paying attention, or is he too busy with the BC in the main base? Oh, he's not paying attention. Oh no, 5 workers go down, 7, 9 workers go down. Now there's the Pole. Zergling's going to look to try to get on top of things, but these are just massive, massive chokes. So they're all going to go down. Big, big damage from Cure to start the mid game here. And the battlecruiser sure didn't get much done. He even gets the queen. Hellions killing a queen. What type of world do we live in? 15 workers go down, and oh, the drones, they're returning. 2 shots, 2 shots. But no, okay, this will finally get cleaned on up. 15 workers go down. Battlecruiser. This the first one? Yeah, first one's still behind. 5 workers of his own. So 10 Hellions, or 10 drones to the Hellions, 5 Hellions to the battlecruiser. And this should be enough damage now for Cure to establish his mid game as the meching player. Oh yeah, I became part black bear. I just became part blue bear. I became like Oh, Violet something. The girl that turns into a blueberry in Willy Wonka. Oh, no. Thorn. I have gone blueberry picking at a farm, and I've eaten wild blueberries, and it is just, it's not comparable. I wish I could say it is, but it just really isn't. It's like, hey, a couple free banes. But it's also nice scouting information. So Zerglings, they're going to try to run in, but there are Hellbats here. And now Solar has to know. Oh, actually, SCV is going to get pulled off the line here. There's not really much of anything defending the third base. And this time, the Hellion run by, it's not going to find nearly as much. The Zerglings will go down, but Baneling should make for the connection there. And Battlecruiser in the main base. This is where the damage is this time. 5 workers will go down. Battlecruiser teleports home. The Zerglings doing significant damage, though. And we're going to start to see a bunch of SCVs go down. Maybe Hellbat's doing a good job defensively. Zerglings in the natural, but Blue Flame says nuts to that. So, how many SCVs died? 2? Not enough. But okay. Oh, queens are going to go down here, too. That is unfortunate. You don't want to lose queens. It's kind of one of those golden rules. But did this this battlecruiser ran in, did not teleport in. So as the corruptors arrive, it should be able to teleport back home. All right, there we go. Yeah, battlecruiser teleports home, survives. Terran nuker. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. What I will tell you, though, is I go to the gym as an excuse to wear tight-fitting pants. Discuss. Now the Blue Flame Hellions here, knocking down a bunch of creep. It looks like Solar wants to go for the overbuild Corruptors Roach Ravager idea, but I mean, Kira's already where he needs to be. His 1-1's just about done. He's going up to 4 battlecruisers. That may be a mistake. We're gonna have to see. He only has 2 tanks. His anti-ground is extraordinarily lacking. So normally you'd say, wow, he has Cyclones, he has tanks. He should be in a good spot, but his tank count has not started to grow just yet, but also Solar's not really going for much of it. Oh, those are some big Banelings, but still, Blue Flame Hellions, they kill drones. 2 workers go down. So we're starting to see a lot of Hellions get thrown away. 25. But still, 29 drones going down really is the story of things. And I don't know that Solar is going to be able to bust his opponent like he wants. Because the tank count is starting to grow. 1-1 is done. It's now 4 tanks. When we get up to like 7 or 8, that's going to be when I'm going to feel really safe. But even more importantly, Cyclones are being made. That's the biggest of deals. That's surprisingly enough, when you look at this kind of Roachling, Bane, Cyclone, or Corruptor idea, you want a bunch of Cyclones. They do really well against the Corruptors. They do really well against the Roaches and the Ravagers, so long as they're not trapped into a corner. So that's why you have tanks to back them up, so they have a place to run back to. As in the army of Solar running on forward. But there are 6 missile turrets outside of the main base, or outside of this third base here. And it's going to make it really hard for the Corruptors to run in to snipe the battlecruisers. And that means the battlecruisers are just kind of free damage that are going to look to sit on top of things, but they're not even there. So the Corruptors rallying on over. Battlecruisers, we're just going to see 4 Yamatos into teleport back home. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a misclick. So that's a dead battlecruiser, but that Banelings look to run on in as well. 13 SCVs go down. Finally, some sort of value here for Solar in this game. But again, he has to find more. He has to actually break a base. 19 SCVs, as weird as it sounds, I don't think that's going to be enough as the Roaches Ravagers move on in. But now the tanks are sieged, and Cyclones should be able to deal with these. Well, actually, they don't have the lock-ons. So another battlecruiser will go down. We're starting to see the supply of the Terran player fall down just a little bit. More and more Roach Ravagers, Lings, they're finding their way on in. Corruptors, they're peeing on this base. There's not enough to repair here, and there's not enough anti-air. So this is going to be a dead orbital. Now it's the damage that Solar was looking for. Now he's breaking on through, doubling the supply of his opponent. The battlecruisers go down. Unfortunately, Cure not building the composition that he needed to make sure that he was able to stay alive in this game, even as he found the damage that he was looking for. GG, folks. We're going to game 5. In the bottom left side here, taking games 2 and 3, falling in games 1 and 3. He is for Kaizi, Solar. His opponent in the north side here in the red, looking to win a game, looking to win a series for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. And hey, third game in a row. Cure going for the proxy, and now, hey, look at that. Solar says, no, no, bad Terran. You're not allowed to do that. Stop it. Not allowed. Drone's going to find things. And interestingly enough, Cure's not going to cancel. In fact, he can win this fight with the SCVs, especially with the repair. But more drones are going to get pulled. Notice Solar does not feel the need to pull a ton, because he understands that by scouting this, he has taken a lot of the power out of it. I don't think he's able to stop it from happening. Well, actually, that's some pretty bad SCV RNG. This is now stopped. This is kind of catastrophic here for Cure at this point. He's got to cancel the barracks. He's got to go do it at home. And Solar returning with all but 2 of his drones. And yeah, even if the SCV starts mining, it's only on 10 HP, 2 shots. Barracks is canceled. Solar, he's in a wonderful spot in this game number 5 for all the marbles for $200. He's finally found his mojo. He got smashed, kind of, in games 1 and 3, but he's looking good. He's looking good. It's looking like a good time for a Zerg to finally win 2 maps in a row in this series. All I'm saying. All I'm saying. So where do we go from here? What does Cure decide that he needs to do to find his way back into this series? Of course, command center on the low ground, trying to cut as many corners as possible. But again, this is a very late command center. We got a factory on the way as well, but again, very late factory. What is his tech? Does he go for something like Blue Flame Hellions and try to catch his opponent off guard? Does he try to say, well, it's 2,000 atmospheres. This game's, they can go late. So maybe all I need to do is just kind of hunker up. Make it so the impetus is on Solar to break me, but then we remember Glittering Ashes in a game where Solar did a very good job of breaking Cure. So for now, we're not going to see much of anything. It is double gas. And it's going to be Hellion drops. Okay. So this is certainly going to be something that Solar will not be expecting. Hellion drop's not really a thing in this matchup. We see it occasionally, but it's not nearly as much of a thing. And, well, not nearly as much of a thing as it is in TVP, Terran versus Protoss. Again, nice Reaper Micro. Cura's been doing a very good job of denying the... Well, denying the... Wow, it's late. You can tell I'm blanking on a word. Denying the creep of Solar, denying the creep tumor from the Queens early on. But the Overlord's going to scout in and says, okay, there's no starport. There's nothing really here. I feel like I should see a starport by now. So we're going to have to see how Solar prepares. His creeps, or his speed is very late in the context of a normal game. It's going to be done around 4:30. 4 minutes is delayed clash. 3:30 is the normal timing. So Zergling speed's not really going to be done in time for this drop. I don't... Well, no, it will be. So you will be able to react to that one. And look at this. Banshee's on the way behind this, I think, out of the Hellion drop. Maybe Ravens, but I doubt it. Oh, no, proxy battlecruisers. Okay, this is not going to work for Cure. I don't think. He has to find so much value. Drop in the main base right now. Queen's already prepared. They say, no. No, we're ready for you. Hellions are going to look to dive on in, though. Drones already getting pulled away. Zerglings rotating. And sure, the drones take damage, but they're not going to go down. Medevac going down here as well. Zerglings, you got to be careful here. You're not out of the woods here, Solar, just yet. But 2 workers go down. 4 workers go down. That's more than enough. Solar, he is in a wonderful spot. He's very happy about things, and 7 roaches on the way. The Hellions, well, actually, SCV's on the other side of the map. The Zerglings will find a couple more, and there's no wall. Big deal. These battlecruisers are on the way, folks. And battlecruisers, they're really bad against roach timings. You just don't have enough stuff. So the roaches now, where are they? Oh. Solar finds it. He says, okay, well, this is a problem. The roaches, though, they're going to commit to stopping this. I feel like the play actually is just to run onto the other side of the map. Although, well, battlecruisers take a while to build. So, does he kill the starport? I think he kills the starport in time. Actually, you need to target down, not the tech lab. But this starport's going to go down, folks. The battlecruiser will not get out everything that Cure holds dear, everything he wants in this game. It's just not happening. So Hellions, though, they're going to try to dive on in, try to find some value. 9 workers go down. This is starting to be nice. This is starting to be nice for Cure. He's killed 13 total drones. This was off of a fail. Well, maybe a little bit more. 10? 10. 10 will be the number. But this was off of a failed 2-Rex. This was off of a failed proxy battlecruiser play. And yeah, we have bunkers on the way. 3rd bunker on the way. I don't know that Solar is going to be stopped by this. You got 3 bunkers, but you have nothing in them. So 5 Ravagers morphing on in here. As Solar gets more gas, he's going to continue to morph more Ravagers. And behind this, he's droning up. He's taking that layer. He's developing his mid-game tech. He can really do whatever he wants, and he should be able to break his opponent in this game. He is so many orders of magnitude far ahead that it's not even funny. The tank on the high ground is going to be annoying, but now you're getting massively supply blocked, losing all of those supply depots. And with the lack of, well, the lack of high ground vision, I don't think there's an overseer or an observer in, well, an overlord in sight. So for now, it's going to be hard for Solar to break in with 3 bunkers in a tank, but 63 out of 46. Kira's never building another unit in this game. He's not allowed. He's just not allowed. Hello there, Tixt. Hope you're having a great night. Or morning. It's 2:20 in the morning. Kira and Solar are absolutely delivering, so I'm here for it. I just got to say, folks, I'm kind of glad that there's no longer best of 5 semis, because I would not be going to bed before 4 in the morning, and that would be sad. I like to sleep. It's an important part of my life. Okay, Bailey Nest on the way. Solar's not really... He's going to really play Roach Ravager Ling Bane, I guess. Anachronistic style to be sure, but it's just a style of stuff. It's a big sledgehammer of Zerg, and in this game where... Oh, here just doesn't have stuff. Here's the problem. He's lost double the resources of the Zerg. His every idea of how he wants to play this game has been stymied at every step. Well, it makes sense that Solar is just going to mass up Roach Ravager Ling Bane, wait for Baneling speed probably, and just try to kill his opponent. I would say this is a comedy of errors, Thorn, but not even a comedy of errors. It's just a comedy of every single thing Church tries to do, it gets scouted and shut down. But I mean, it's a Roach play, and the supply's not all that far ahead for Solar right now. At the very least, this drop's going to try to knock down some creep. Not going to be able to get too much done. Even with medevac boost, the Zerglings are going to be able to chase it down, and that means no drops, really. You can't unload. Okay, so Roach speed is done. Mailing speed done rather soon as well, but Kira does have an upgrade lead for quite a while. Maybe he's going to be able to take advantage of that. I think we're just going to see Solar maxed out. You got your 1-1 Roach max idea. This one is just 1-1 Roach Ravager Ling Bane. But he's also developing his tech. He's got an Infestation Pit on the way. 5th base on the way as well. He's not putting all of his eggs in one big Baneling-shaped basket. Yeah, Kira had more bunkers than Marines. That was kind of fun. Eventually, the bunkers did fill up. He's grabbing the left side on the edge of creep. It's something that Solar, he sees, and so he's going to be able to defend his creep spread right there. Baneling speed's done. 1-1 is done. Solar, he's just about maxed out. This is the timing that he's going to look for as soon as he deals with these drops. And this is one of the downsides of the style that Solar has chosen to play. Roaches are not reactive. Ravagers are not fast around the map. It requires a lot of supply to defend your drops, or to defend your base, to defend your positions against drops. So from that perspective, Kira's doing a great job of attempting to pin Solar back. And this max out rather rapidly, Kira is approaching his own. He's only on 5 racks. This is not a 8 racks all in. Honestly, if he tried that, it just would not work. So he's going to go take his 4th. And the powerful play goes on, again, in a game where Solar is massively far ahead, but starting to, if you let a Terran player, if you let a player in general macro their way out of something, eventually something's going to happen here, but Banelings come crashing on in. Solar backs up, though. That could have been a lot of dead Marines, but the Marauders were enough to scare things back. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Ultra Cavern is on the way here. This is how Solar's going to look to take advantage of his timings. He says, well, I just got a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be able to build Ultras. I'm going to crush you with it. And that's going to be fun. But this drop is going to take a while to get cleaned up. Not enough Zerglings here really to deal with this with the bio in a corner. So more and more Zerglings, they're going to be forced on in. Eventually this drop gets cleaned up. But again, Pure doing a great job of stalling, of not allowing Solar to just go kill him. And he's still not in a great spot. Don't get me wrong, with resources lost, they've shifted in the direction of the Zerg player. Now Solar has lost more. And again, he's been mining a whole hell of a lot more this entire game. But we are starting to see Cure. He's on 4 bases. He is maxed out. He has 2-2 versus the 1-1 of his opponent. We do not have Ultras on the way yet. The Ultra Cavern's done, but no Ultra upgrades. Bailings, though, looking to spill on in. All of that money that Cure has spent for the majority, or that Solar has spent for the majority of this game, is going to look to crash on in now. A significant engagement, but still these tanks, 5, 6 tanks, they're going to buffer the Terran push. And the first fight of the Zerg is not going to win. But this style that Solar is going for, it's not about one fight. It's about 1, 2, 3 fights, paring away at the Terran every time until you kill him. Okay, these medevacs finally should go down, as of course Vipers are on the field. What is creep spread though? The creep spread of Solar, we talked about how bad it was on the or on the Glittering Ashes map. Actually, he was just did not have his creep spread until he did. But the creep spread into the third base of Pure here, and that's always going to be a bit of a problem. Zergling's looking to roll in nice blinding clouds on top of some of these tanks, but they're well split for now. Ultras don't have their upgrades yet, so they're 2-2 Ultras, but even still, they're going to kill these tanks with tremendous abandon. Another tank sieged up, another tank is dead. Solar, again, taking a fight where he removes the tech from his opponent, and now 3-3 is on the way. Now, Chitinous Plating is on the way. It's just about done, and that's just going to be these Ultras will not die. But there's a drop in the main base. It will be cleaned on up, though. Queen will not kill that, actually. It's going to get it close. And this drop on the south side as well. It's, again, being dealt with well. Solar, he's just opening up smaller and smaller supply leads once again. But nice target fire here from Cure. He's going to get a lot of these drones on this third base. Cure now having to spend a scan to knock the creep outside from his orbital. If he's ever forced to lift right now, he would not be able to drop it back down. But now he will. Creep is going to recede, but look at this big surround. Solar's looking for one big fight to end this game. We're going to have to see whether this one happens. All the army, majority of the Terran army behind these tanks, behind the walls, but the Ultras running on in. Banelings as well. Zerg is trying to get on top of things. That's a big choke on the left side, though, but it looks like it does not matter because the blinding clouds on top of these tanks, they're going to make sure that they do not get their shot. Solar, he finally finds the fight he's looking for. He finds the game he's looking for, and he was down, but he is not out. Solar, he takes game 5. He takes this series. And man, what a series it was.